What's going on, guys, and welcome to a brand new video. Today we're going to be looking at the JConly Epoch R4 with automatic start and stop function, softness adjustment, and an adjustable RGB light. First off, big thanks to Tracy at JConly for reaching out and giving me the opportunity to review this machine. Really appreciate it. That being said, let's get right into the video. Gang, the JConly Epoch R4. Now, this machine truly is epic. It's jam-packed full of features, and we're going to check them all out right now. First is our last machine. We looked at the Epoch C2, where it was kind of, the beauty was in the simplicity. Now, it's kind of the opposite end of the spectrum. The beauty is in its technology and its features. Comes complete with two 1800 milliamp batteries, an actual RCA adapter. God bless them for actually putting one of these in there. A lot of people don't even do that anymore. And an optional smaller grip. I believe this was a 38. The small one's a 34 maybe, or I could have that off by a couple of millimeters. I will confirm that on the screen right now. So this is a 4.2 millimeter direct drive machine. It also comes into 3.5 and a 5.0. I picked the 4.2 because it's a little bit more, it's the in-betweener. Pretty familiar with 4.0s. I thought a 4.2 would be nice. The last 4.2 I used was the Ava something or another, and speaking of which, it actually reminds me a lot of that machine as far as like power and hit. Very, very hard hitting machine, very direct in there and out, which I would hope so because it retails at around 489 USD. So this is by far not a budget machine. It's up there on the higher end of the spectrum. This might be the most expensive machine I've ever used. Speaking of that, big thanks to Tracy at JConly for giving me the opportunity to make this video and use the machine. Sorry for the wait. No excuse. I was just late, but here it is nonetheless. This is actually my fourth time recording this. This took me a little while to get the enthusiasm in there. Throw it out on the computer. I listen to it. I'm like, oh, what am I doing? I sound like an idiot. So just restart, a little bit more enthusiasm, give you guys the deets and my experiences with the JConly Epoch R4. Super crispy, bright LED screen. Now, I'm actually going to kind of go towards the screen last so I can turn some lights off and give you guys a better look at the screen. I did prefer the bigger grip. Something about this grip makes it feel more comfortable in the hand, more natural. I don't know what it is, but I was going back and forth between this and the new Mass Racer, and this JConly felt way more comfortable in my hand than this thing did. Yeah, something about it just makes it more, doesn't make me feel like I'm so bunched up on it. It doesn't really feel like it's controlling my movement. I can really flow with this grip. I don't know how they did it, but it's just like perfect for my hand. This thing has a bunch of cool features, including your RGB light. It has an automatic start and stop button, which is like tilt on or tilt off. I believe the Cheyenne machine did that. One of the Cheyenne Novas did that. And it also has an actual functional full power hit softness adjustment, and we're going to get into that as well. So you can actually adjust how the output of this motor and how hard you want it to hit, and it's actually executed well and functions perfectly. Personally, I didn't get much use out of the motor adjustment. I found it good to be in the first two modes. Mode 1 is 100%. Mode 2 is 80%, and 80% is soft enough to shade with and stuff like that. You can shade with it at 100% if you want to, but where the motor adjustment's truly going to come in handy is when you're tattooing different spots of the body. So if you're going from here to there, it really does, being able to adjust the hit will really help you out in that aspect of it. I'm going to quote a subscriber. I think his name is Acreus or something like that. I'll pop him up right here. I'll give him another shout out. The Swiss Army knife. This thing really has Swiss Army knife potential. Okay, so we might as well get into it. First thing you're going to notice is this thing has a really almost like a silicone-like texture on the outside that really helps the bag and your wrap really stick to this thing. Not one time did I have to push my wrap up this way. Not one time did I have to do that. You just push, I mean, when you get it on there, it's not coming out, especially after you put a piece of co-wrap on there. It is not sliding off. It does have, I don't like to do this because it gets grease everywhere all over the machine, but people may not like this texture because people say it's harder to clean, but I didn't really have too much trouble cleaning it. I mean, I clean the crap out of these things anyway. So the threads are kind of between a short and a tall. I mean, you do get a lot of fine adjustment, just not micro fine adjustment, but they're small enough to get those good adjustments in there. 3-ball bearings, so you don't really see that anymore either. So I can applaud them for that. And yeah, you get lots of turns out of it. I didn't really use this one all. I didn't see the need to, but yeah, this big grip is just perfect for this machine. Like I said, this gives you good like flow and dexterity. Just really made me feel like I could just do this all day long. Type-C charge, it is cool that you mark the ends of it, just in case you got two, you know, which one is which. Comes in handy. And, you know, pops on, pops off, battery switch. Done. RCA adapter. Done. Battery. Done. Now, if you use a battery, it's going to run at 100% all the time. So if you don't have the JConly battery in there, it's not going to. You're not going to be able to access the hit adjustment in there. So this is something to keep in mind, guys. And something else that's also really cool is this thing actually comes with a 12-month warranty from the day you buy it. It has a warranty for 12 months. There's going to be some limitations in there, guys, so mostly like factory defects and stuff, but you can get more information about that on the website. All right, so I'm going to try to turn down some lights here, guys. That way we can see the screen correctly. Now, it's not going to be perfect. I don't have any ultimate camera tools. Okay, so we have voltage here, timer here, battery up here. Up here in the top left corner, it's going to be hard to see, but we can get into it. This is going to be our light selection, okay? So we can change our color. The color does reflect the color on the screen, but for now, there is colors, but for now, we're not going to have this on just because it makes it hard to see. You can also go into the sound. You can turn the beep on or off. So you can see there, beeps on, beeps off. Then we can go down to another awesome feature about this thing it's functional. We'll go down to the automatic start and stop by just pressing the mode button here. We can go bounce between all these modes. So we're going to hit mode till it goes down to the blinking A down here. I know you guys can barely see that, but now we're going to hit on. And that, you see the green light there, that's going to turn on the tilt power, the on, the off with the tilt. We're going to use our JConly Vetter cartridge. So now when we have it flat, it's off. Turn it up. Turns on. Not super responsive, but it does work. It's almost like 1 or 2 seconds too late. It just takes long enough to where you want to look at it like, what's going on with this thing? Right when you start to worry about it is when it turns on. So I think if they could maybe shave 1 or 2 seconds off of that, that would really be perfect. Off. On. See what I mean? But for now, just for the sake of safety, we're not going to leave that on. I'm going to turn that off. Now, I'm sure there's a way to reset the time. I don't really know how it resets its time on its own. I would like the time to stay on there as long as I wanted it to. That way I'd have the opportunity to readjust the time at my leisure. Okay, now here's another big deal. So it's got 3 modes, and it has 1 mode in the 3rd mode, if that makes any sense. So M1 is going to be 100%. I don't know if you guys can see that. I highly doubt it. There's no way you guys can see that. So you're going to take my word for it. So right above volts, there's a little bubble right there, and that's our motor output. So right there, mode 1 is always stuck on 100%. Mode 2, see we said M2, 80%. So that's going to be 80% motor output, okay? So, and if we want to go into mode 3, which is how we're going to be able to adjust the motor output, we're going to hit power plus, and then dang, we have access to our output. It goes by number 1 increments, or you can hold it down to go down really fast. It goes down all the way to 10%, and then you have some rooms within the volts to adjust that. So it's at 10% now, 10% now. It definitely softens it up enough, but it's not soft enough to where it's going to get stopped by anything. And then we can play around with those volts. You're not going to be able to hear it, but you can go around within, I think it's 5 to 10 or maybe even 5 to 12. Yeah, all the way to 5 to 12 with the 10%. We're going to take it back down here to 8.5. Now, if we're going to want to turn up the output, we're going to hold these two, and then you'll see it blinking, and that's when you know you can turn up the output. You can actually do it while it's running. If we want to turn it down, we can turn it down. And you'll notice, you heard it slow down, and the volts are still the same, so you have all that room in there to really fine-tune how you want to tattoo and where you're going to be tattooing at, which really makes this thing really like I said, to quote a subscriber, can't remember his name right now, a very Swiss Army knife-like effect, which I can see being very useful for a lot of people out there. Yeah, you're not limited by the voltage range or really anything, really. You have the option to adjust your motor's output, which makes you wonder, where can they go from here? How much better can these things actually get? That's still pretty soft. Now, oddly enough, it doesn't feel like it's that much softer on my end right here, but trust me, once you get in there and you start tattooing with it, you'll notice, especially with a liner, you'll notice how much softer it really is. I mostly just ran this thing at 100%. I did mess with the 80% a little bit with some shades. I did turn it down a little bit lower than that just to play around a little bit, but yeah, it's definitely there. It is very functional, and this I think I can like firmly say that this might be like one of the best machines I've had the chance of using. It's just I don't have a whole lot of time with it, 10-15 hours I'd guess, and it's just awesome. It's a powerhouse. All right, guys, lights on. We're gonna do the old inkless skin test here, so I can try to give you guys a better example. I'm gonna zoom in as far as possible. So we're just gonna start at 100%. Hopefully you guys can get a good vibe for this. Now, this is one of those machines that runs fast at lower volts, which is what I prefer. 6.5, 6.7, 6.6. That was like my preferred lining volts. If I'm doing something a little bit bigger, you know, 6.9, maybe 7 volts. Found that to be just perfect for me. So we're in mode 1. So as we remember from earlier, mode 1 always stays at 100%. 100% output. 9 round shader here, guys. Let me throw out here. Now I actually have a piece of skin underneath this, so it's not going direct to table, but this thing is very powerful, guys, so just you're going to want to be careful, guys. Trust me, especially on thinner spots. Thinner spots or older folks with soft skin, you're going to want to be careful because this thing is powerful, very powerful. 80% doesn't sound like much of a difference. It doesn't feel like much of a difference, but it does. You can definitely feel it. Hopefully you guys can see that. This one's considerably darker than this one. Same pressure, same speed, pretty close anyway. Now if we want to go and into mode 3, we're going to hold these two. Go down, so 70%, 60%. Now this thing would be awesome for stippling. That is another way you could use this this motor output adjustment. Be great for stippling, but what I really think is going to shine is if you're tattooing softer parts of the body, like the neck, and other spots too, guys. I just can't think of anything right now. But yeah, this is where you're going to get your stipple. I don't know if we can get stipples on this thing, but see, very soft. I can't even get much of a line off these. So yeah, the output does work, and it works quite well. 80, 30, 100, 80, 30. So yes, very functional, actually works well. And it's hitting softer, but it's not so soft you can actually stop this thing. JConly Vetter cartridge. These are great carts, by the way, too. A nice 5mm taper. And it's a 2-piece housing. I'm not a super big fan of fitted cartridges or fitted tips. I like the 2-piece. Works well. These are actually pretty easy to clean out too, and they look really cool. Okay, so now we're at 100% here. This is a 1007, I believe. 1007. I like the taper on these. I think 5mm taper is just perfect. %, going in with our 80 and just kind of brush it out. Just like that, guys. Pretty awesome. Really, like I said, the only thing that kind of slightly concerns me is not being able to get inside and clean that. Other than that, I mean, maybe the buttons could be a little bit better. I'm not a big fan of these buttons as well. But overall, this thing is an absolute powerhouse, line slayer, black packer, color dominator. It just does it all. So, and with a functional output adjustment, it's just like the cream of the crop. Just nice little cherry on top. This thing really does do it all. And it very well may be the last tattoo machine you ever need to buy. I mean, you're going to want to buy stuff too, but I mean, this really is all you need right here. That's right, I said it. This very well could be the last machine you ever need to buy. It's just that good, and hands down one of the best machines I've had the opportunity of reviewing and or using. It will be in the top shelf for some time now, if or until it gets replaced by something else. And if you are thinking about giving this machine a try yourself, which I highly recommend, you use code RON10 to get 10% off this thing right now. There will also be a link down below you can use that will get you to the website to order yourself. That being said, sorry about the spikes and dips in the audio in that certain section. My mic was having trouble filtering between the machine beeps and my voice, so it was really struggling there, but I'm hoping you got the gist of it. And of course, if you have any questions, be sure to let me know down below. I appreciate you guys watching. Thanks once again to Tracy from JConly for sending this machine to me. It truly was an awesome opportunity, and I greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe if you're new, and share it with a friend if you can, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.